You're looking for a business banking platform. You've come across Novo, you've come across NBKC, and you want to know which one is the better fit for your business. Well, by the end of this video, you're going to know how Novo and NBKC compare in terms of features, which platform is best suited for different types of businesses, and the key details you need to consider before making your decision. Diving right into things, what is Novo? Well, Novo is a digital-first banking platform designed for small businesses, freelancers, and entrepreneurs. It offers fee-free business checking account with no minimum balance requirements and a focus on simplicity and flexibility. Novo is the first business bank account that I started using way back when, probably about 6 years ago now, and I was using them as my primary business banking platform for about 4 years before switching to a new platform, which I have plenty of other videos about. Now, Novo's key features include no monthly fees or minimum balances, built-in invoicing to create, send, and manage invoices, which is extremely convenient for you as a small business owner. This is one of the features that I got the most use out of when I was a Novo user. You've also got Novo Boost, which allows you to receive faster Stripe payouts. So if you're running, say, an e-commerce business that's doing a lot of transactions through Stripe, this could help make your cash flow a little bit faster. You've also got built-in integrations with major platforms like Stripe, Shopify, PayPal, and QuickBooks, as well as both a physical and a virtual debit card as soon as you create your account, so you can get immediate access to your business funds. Now, a couple features Novo doesn't have. First is outgoing wire transfers, and second is interest-bearing accounts. So if you're looking for a checking account that will earn you interest on your balance, you're not going to find that with Novo. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about NBKC. Now NBKC is an online-first bank, but they also do have a few physical branches in Kansas and Missouri. They offer a fee-free business checking account as well as various lending options, making it a pretty good option for businesses that need access to both banking services as well as loans or other types of financing. Some of the key features you're going to find with NBKC include no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, 6 free domestic wire transfers per month, access to over 34,000 ATMs with up to $12 in fee reimbursements for out-of-network ATMs, integrations with QuickBooks, Gusto, and Xero, and business lending options including SBA loans, equipment loans, and business lines of credit. A couple things to flag with NBKC. They've got very limited physical branches, so if you're not in one of those two states, you're probably pretty far from an NBKC branch. Now, both Novo and NBKC are going to be a little bit different from your traditional bank experience. And so why would you look towards one of these options instead of, one of your big 5 banks? Well, there's a few common issues with traditional banks that both Novo and NBKC are trying to address. First of which is high fees and account minimums. So with a traditional business checking account at a big bank, you're often going to find things like account fees. Maybe there's a monthly fee just to keep your account open. There might be some kind of minimum balance, and if you don't meet that, there's also a fee. With both of these options, you're not going to encounter either of those scenarios, and they are completely fee-free banking. With your traditional big bank as well, you're going to run into limited access, right? The bank branch isn't going to be open all of the time. They're going to be closed on Sundays and have limited hours during the week and things like that. With Novo and NBKC, they both have 24/7 online access, and you're not going to be required to make any in-person visits. That's just not really an option. Additionally, if you have a lot of moving pieces, if you got complex finances for your business, with both of these providers, they're really going to simplify managing your business finances with all of the built-in integrations that they have. Now, this is something you're not going to find at a big bank, right? We're talking about integrations with tools like QuickBooks and Stripe, which are really going to help you to streamline your bookkeeping, your cash flow management, and just making sure that, the wheels stay on the bus, so to speak. In general, if you're running a small business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you've got a freelance project going on, you're probably going to be better served with one of these, banks that's specific to small businesses rather than one of the big banks, provided that you're not doing a ton of cash transactions. Now, although both Novo and NBKC offer fee-free business checking accounts, there could be some costs that you run into depending on how exactly you use your account. So let's break down how they differ on that front. First thing you might be wondering about, wire transfers. So some businesses send a lot of wire transfers, receive a lot of wire transfers. Some businesses rarely ever interact with wire transfers. With NBKC, you're going to get 6 free domestic wire transfers per month. With Novo, on the other hand, they don't support domestic outgoing wires, and if you want to do any kind of international transfer, you're going to have to use some kind of third-party service in order to do that. NBKC is going to come out as being more versatile for businesses needing frequent wire transfers. On the account management side of things, with Novo, you're getting a single checking account, but they do have something called Novo Reserves. This is a feature that allows you to allocate money for specific purposes. Think things like taxes or payroll. When I was using Novo, I had a reserve set up for my quarterly taxes. As a self-employed person, you got to pay quarterly taxes. And so within your Novo account, you have this reserve, which is kind of just like a carved out corner of your account where you can have a separate balance. It's the same account, but it's just kind of set aside. And so I could always see when I log into my Novo account, how much money do I have set aside for taxes and how much money is just in my account ready to, transact with. And that was a very useful feature for me. It just held me accountable to making sure that I was actually setting aside the proper amount of money for taxes. Now, that being said, you can't actually set up multiple different accounts. So if you wanted to run something like Profit First with Novo, you can't do that. You're also not going to earn any interest on your account balances. With NBKC, very similar offering. They're also giving you a very straightforward business checking account. You're also not going to earn any interest on your account balance. But one thing I will mention is that NBKC does offer a business money market account that currently earns about 2.75% APY. So there are other financial products offered by NBKC, which could help to solve your needs, which is not something you're going to find with Novo. Another type of financial product you might be interested in is lending. So with Novo, there are no direct lending products offered by the platform, but they do connect users to third-party lenders for loans like SBA loans through their Novo funding feature. NBKC, on the other hand, is going to provide a wide range of lending solutions, including things like SBA loans, equipment loans, business lines of credit. They've got a fast approval process, typically within about 5 days, and rates currently start at about 5.95% for small business loans, which could be pretty competitive depending on exactly what you are looking for. So if you are looking for financing or just lending in general, NBKC probably going to be the better option here. Now, one thing that you should be thinking about if you're not going to be working with one of the big banks is customer support, right? The last thing you want is to run into financial issues and can't get in contact with your bank. So with Novo on the support side, you're going to see phone, email, and in-app messaging support options. Personally, I've had some experience here. Hasn't been the best. Typically, I can get responses, but it takes quite a while. Honestly, it's been a really convoluted process going back and forth with their support. That's one of the reasons why I did actually decide to move away from Novo. Now, with NBKC, on the other hand, I don't have direct experience with their support, but they do offer phone and email support. They've got extended hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, but the jury's still out on how effective their support actually is. Now, when it comes to user reviews, Novo is currently sitting at about a 4.4 out of 5 stars from over 4,000 reviews. If you look a little deeper, most users praise their simplicity and their invoicing features, which I got a lot of value out of. However, there are frequent complaints about those customer service delays and account freezes. Again, things that I have experienced and have been a little bit frustrated by. Now, NBKC, on the other hand, has a 4.9 out of 5 stars. A lot of users here are actually highlighting their excellent customer service and really competitive loan rates. When it comes to negative feedback, a lot of that actually does also touch on customer support, specifically on the speed of responses, but it's definitely less frequent than Novo's complaints. So my 2 cents is probably a little bit better over at NBKC on the customer support side of things. But boiling things down, which one is going to be the better option for you? Well, Novo really stands out if you are a freelancer or a solopreneur looking for pure simplicity, fee-free banking. You just want something nice and simple. Additionally, if you're an e-commerce business, you want fast access to Stripe payouts using that Novo Boost feature, Novo definitely stands out on this front. Or if built-in invoicing, strong e-commerce integrations are compelling for you, you're definitely going to be satisfied over at Novo. Now, with NBKC, on the other hand, if you're a small business, you want a low-cost banking solution with access to other financial products like loans, lines of credit, and money market accounts, could be a compelling choice. If you're a business that needs free wire transfers and are going to be engaging with ATMs a lot, NBKC definitely shines on these fronts. Or if you're using QuickBooks or Gusto for your business and you just want completely seamless financial management, your payroll, your bookkeeping, your banking can all be in one spot, NBKC definitely comes out ahead on their integrations. Now, if you want to try out either of these accounts for yourself, Feel free to use the links in the description below to help support the channel and get the best available offers for both accounts. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.